This is the future, boys and gals.
Hello, everybody. 残酷な天使のように少年よ神話になれ。このね、ゆびゆびゲームチャレンジ用意スタート。
Hello, Konnichiwa. What you are looking at is the future of live streaming. That's right, while the world is plunging into darkness and everyone is losing their minds, at least we have VTubers to keep us company.
Oh, Jesus.
Virtual YouTubers, also known as VTubing, is where fantasy turns into reality. Or maybe it's the other way around. The most popular use of VTubing so far comes in the form of 2D anime girls brought to life with state-of-the-art motion detecting software performed by Japan's version of K-pop idols. Behind these cutesy characters are voice actresses who have trained their entire careers to laugh, sing, and cry while making an assortment of inhuman sounds in order to entertain thousands of men who watch while gushing over their LED keyboards. Welcome to the virtual world.
Let's go, amigo. Let's go. Banana 欲しい、バナナ。バナナ。バナナ。
I've immersed myself into the matrix of VTubing in order to better understand this strange new phenomenon. Who exactly are the type of people to watch VTubers? What is the true appeal of them in the first place? What does this technology mean for the future of the internet? And why does my character look so feminine? After spending hours watching VTubers, after interviewing VTubers and their viewers alike, I've come to some conclusions. But first, a brief history lesson of VTubers seems appropriate. Virtual streamers are relatively new to Westerners, but as you might have guessed, it's been huge in Japan for years. 2016 saw the birth of one of the most popular early VTubers, Kazuna AI. She quickly became a viral sensation on YouTube through her eerily lively expressions, catchy music videos, and in-game banter while streaming. What's most intriguing about Kazuna is that according to her backstory, she's a self-proclaimed and self-aware artificial intelligence, a claim that isn't easily disproven upon watching her stream. For years, the producers of Kazuna's design and the true identity of her voice actor were kept hidden. This air of mystery was a brilliant design choice by Kazuna's original parent company, Activate, whose intention was to maintain a facade of a truly autonomous anime girl for the minds of her viewers. As the years went on, the insular Japanese VTuber fandom slowly became more accessible to English speakers, with subtitles added to clips, and with the rising popularity of bilingual VTubers like Kiryu Coco and Pecora. These hilarious and relatable cross-cultural streamers helped usher English speakers into the maw of the VTuber idol machine.
Shampoo. Shampoo.
The Western expansion of these markets has primarily been the workings of one company, Hololive, led by genius mastermind billionaire philanthropist CEO Motokai Tanigo. aka Yagu. While on the surface, these cutesy VTubers seem like they just stumbled across streaming and happened to find a career in it, the HoloLive streamers are all funded and managed by the company. Beyond that, the type of games they play and the streams they have, the collaborations they make, these things are all decided at some sort of production level. So whenever you stare into those cold, dead eyes, just remember that Yagu is pulling the strings. The formula for VTubers debuting together in what's called a generation was first established with Japanese idol culture, namely in the form of slice-of-life anime such as Love Live. And while idol fandoms have never truly hit the mainstream in the West, they do consist of disturbingly dedicated fans who are willing to pay thousands of dollars in many cases to travel across the world and catch a show. In a way, that same business model has transitioned to the even more lucrative and cost-effective platform of live streaming. HoloLive has released several generations since 2019, each with the intention of capturing a different demographic or region of viewers. You have HoloLive Indonesia, HoloLive China, HoloLive Armenia, and now HoloLive English. On September 12th, 2020, the world of VTubing changed forever with HoloLive's foray into Western audiences. Future generations will look back on the HoloLive English debut in the same way that Hassan Piker looks back on September 11th. We deserved it. Tens of thousands of Westerners were met with 5 new idols. Mori Calliope, the gothic bubblegum-haired rapper, Takanashi Kiara, the bright, blooming gamer girl, Ninome Inanis, the timid cult leader with tentacles, Watson Amelia, the posh British detective, and finally, Gargura, the spunky yet charming shark girl that you've probably already seen plastered everywhere by now.
I'll stay quiet. I won't say anything. You got my word.
I didn't want to watch VTubers because I just thought that was really degenerate because it's just subbed. So when I heard that the English ones were coming out, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll try it. And I ended up just falling in love with the design of all of them because their designs are really cool.
Brock is your typical 21-year-old suburban American kid. On the surface, he appears like the last person you'd expect to be into anime and VTubers. But I think he represents the huge potential of growth VTubers have amongst Western audiences. And not just with HoloLive English VTubers either. That debut served as a window into the expansive world of VTubers, including many who aren't tied to HoloLive at all.
After watching the first streams, I decided to branch out, and that's when I discovered a VTuber called Pikami, and she actually speaks both English and Japanese, and she's my favorite now, over the shark.
This corset's really tight. Are you sure about that? Ora, damn it! Ora! Yay! I got the cash!
Seemingly overnight, many of these VTubers have gained hundreds of thousands of subscribers. For example, Gargura regularly gets over 40,000 live viewers and sometimes more than 60,000. And she grew from 0 to 1 million subscribers in just over a month. Even more impressive than the viewership are the staggering amount of donations and super chats flooding the chat room at any given time. During the English debut, 3 VTubers made over $20,000 in their first stream alone. In fact, amongst all the YouTubers, VTubers dominate the top positions for revenue earned through YouTube's super chats. But of course, VTubers don't get all of the revenue. It's estimated that companies like HoloLive take about a 40% cut off the top. Due to their highly dedicated fans, clips, memes, and artwork of VTubers quickly spread across sites like Twitter and YouTube, often creating viral sensations in their own right. And yet, even the most popular and adored models themselves aren't ever truly free from their corporate shackles either. On September 27th, 2020, Hololive VTubers Kiryu Koko and Akai Hato were suspended from streaming for 3 weeks for saying the word Taiwan during a live stream. Fans were not pleased with this decision, expressing their support for Koko and Hato to be freed through memes and artwork. At the end of the 3-week suspension, Chinese viewers were still not satisfied. They demanded that Hololive drop Koko altogether, threatening to completely stop supporting Hololive streamers if their demands were not met. During Koko's return stream, her chat flooded with insults from pro-Chinese viewers. Photos of merchandise being torn apart and set on fire surfaced. All of this backlash and outrage simply due to the fact that Kiryu Koko and Hato mentioned Taiwan. Nothing political, not even a statement of support, simply acknowledging the existence of Taiwan was enough to warrant all hell breaking loose for these Chinese viewers. Ultimately, Hololive decided to stick with Koko and to not give in to these demands, possibly due to the massive following she commands and the huge potential of viewers still untapped in Western markets. Either way, these events served as a stark reminder of how valuable the idea of freedom of speech is, and just how little of it exists in the world of international corporatism.
Shut the fuck up!
According to NoxInfluencer.com, a metadata site, the majority of viewers for popular VTubers seem to be between the ages of 18 and 24, as well as 25 to 35, which is a bit odd considering the intentionally childish personas VTubers often embody. Couple that with the fact that these actors are often portraying age-ambiguous young anime girls, and it's no surprise that to some onlookers there's something unsettling about who these VTubers might be appealing to. Not to mention Japan's notorious history of producing loli anime, and if you don't know what that is, don't look it up. I asked cultured anime experts about their response to the lolicon comparisons that VTubers have been accused of.
I've watched a lot of VTubers. I can out of the thousands of VTubers I've seen, the amount of them that play a quote-unquote lowly character are minuscule. So I think when people complain about stuff like that, they're mostly doing it as an attention grab, and I don't think it has any relevance to the VTuber scene at large.
I don't think it caters to pedophiles. It's not about the shark being a lolly.
If you like her just because she is a small child, probably a problem. But if you like her because she's this small child that's just angry and screaming, and that's what you would envision if you watch like a 12-year-old playing Minecraft for the first time getting his house griefed, that's freaking hilarious.
Based on the people I interviewed and the fandom culture surrounding VTubers that I've seen, it seems that most of the interest for VTubers isn't actually coming from a sexual place at all. The appeal of VTubers and cute anime girls in this context seems to be something more akin to wholesome Saturday morning cartoons than it is pandering to predators. Either way, there is still something dystopian about seeing tens of thousands of viewers regularly tune in to watch these uncanny anime characters brought to life. But that's also nothing new for Japan. If the East is a window into the future of the West, then anime girls, body pillows, virtual waifus, and the consumers of these products are going to become a lot more common in the not-so-distant future.
I don't really care about Japanese culture that much, but I'm a big fan of anime. So I don't hide it from my parents either. Like, they know everything. Like, I even have a body pillow that my mom bought. So.
Understanding the appeal of VTubers is most easily done through sitting down and actually watching them. This was my friend Haven's first time watching a VTuber.
Oh, this is it. This is it. This one's it's actually cracked me up. Wait, full screen it?
So right now, I'm with you're a pretty YouTube better than you.
It's hard to pin down, but there's something charming and infectious about the way VTubers express themselves and the avatars they use to do it.
If I can just have an avatar that looks the same every time and then people can stop commenting about how tired I look, I'm like, why not? This is great. You know, I can concentrate more on my content. I can do more about what I want without having to worry about like, you know, things that might be distracting, like, you know, my webcam or how I look.
Chica is an independent VTuber who streams on Twitch. In our interview, she shared with me how it felt more comfortable to express herself as a VTuber as opposed to streaming with a normal webcam. That level of self-expression and comfort is reflected by the viewers who enjoy watching this style of content.
Like if I heard Pecora, the bunny girl VTuber, screaming at the top of her lungs, I'm just dying. I'm laughing so hard. I tune into some other streamer that's just, I guess, has their cam on, I'm not too familiar with them, and if they do the same exact thing, maybe that air of mystery that we talked about before, because it's not there, I just don't experience that same amount of joy or laughter.
I really like how they can do so many different things that like regular streamers are like kind of limited to. Like Watson, when she was doing that Watson's concoction stuff in her first debut stream, I thought that was really neat, and like she was doing all the special effects.
Paradoxically, hiding your face behind an anime avatar can actually feel more liberating than showing your flesh and blood human skin all the time. The fantasy that VTubing provides allows the streamer to act without inhibitions or limitations. It also prevents viewers from immediately attaching judgments to whoever they're watching. The draw of expressing oneself through an avatar has been around for decades on the internet in the form of profile pictures and even crude videos. As technology continues to advance, VTubing and 3D modeling filters are becoming more accessible. As a result, it's becoming harder to separate fantasy from reality. With the appeal of VTubers hitting the mainstream, some fans have expressed disdain for the conventional streamers who have adopted 3D models of their own. However, the fans I spoke with didn't seem to share this concern.
I can't really imagine someone like Pokimane or whatever acting very different when she's under a virtual identity, because she's already comfortable with her fans. She's already comfortable streaming, so she doesn't really need that. When big name streamers do that, it's likely just them trying to latch onto a trend. But sometimes they're genuinely interested, right? And they just want to be a VTuber because they like the idea or they think VTubers are cool. But what they miss out is that they don't really get anything from a VTuber. And eventually they'll get sick of it, and the fad will pass, and the VTubers will be VTubers, and the streamers will go back to streaming.
While many top streamers are jumping on the VTuber trend, and many more may continue to try, these already established popular streamers aren't appealing to the same kind of audience that VTubers are. That's because the success of a VTuber is predicated on the fragile veneer that keeps the 3D illusion alive. Simply turning your likeness into a cartoon model after years of streaming to thousands of viewers as your flesh and blood self doesn't bring a character to life in the same way that acting purely as a VTuber does. However, some of the more savvy live streamers like Sodapoppin have found a clever workaround for this. Instead of taking on a VTuber persona himself, Sodapoppin has adopted a mute to act on his stream. A mute is a very dedicated VTuber who says nothing and provides entertainment to a streamer's audience, forming some sort of unholy parasitic symbiotic relationship between humans and virtual characters. Spreadsheets and wikis have been made to keep track of these mutes and their current arrangements with streamers. You know, just in case you as the viewer wanted to keep score as we all collectively get sucked into the Matrix. Despite their fictional and unobtainable nature, anime girls, often called waifus, have served as the ideal woman for a growing number of men. With the rise of VTubers, this ideal has taken a giant leap forward in becoming reality. And just like with body pillows and figurines, some fans have taken their love for VTubers to highly disturbing new lows.
I feel like the simping for VTubers is extreme simping. It's like next level stuff.
私と結婚しますか？わーお！ほら見て、可愛いとプロポーズもされるわけよ。あんたたちいい？プロポーズされるの。
立ちっぽいな。結婚しようかいう。
ワイフってどういう意味だ？ Yes!
Even though these marriage proposals are mostly jokes, I do think they come from a place of very real attachment between viewers and VTubers.
Some of you guys are weird.
The trend of super simps emptying their bank accounts and planning their entire lives around the VTubers they idolize will likely only continue as the live streaming market taps further and further into the reward systems of vulnerable men. However, VTubers aren't limited to corporations. Independent VTubers like Nyanners and Iron Mouse have shown that grassroots, community-driven VTubers can also make their mark on streaming. Many other small independent VTubers have sprung up on Twitch alongside the same streaming sections that have been known to house streamers who have a more personal connection with their viewers. In the near future, it's foreseeable that independent VTubers will be directly competing with these types of streamers, and even absorbing their viewers in some cases.
I am Satan. I am Satan.
Once independent VTubers are able to replicate the success of large streamers, I think they will have more longevity than corporate-backed VTubers. Chica explained to me some of the advantages she has as an independent VTuber.
Something that's really big recently is that you know that if you're under a company, you can't say anything political. That's been a huge issue lately. There's people are sensitive to certain things, and Hololive as a company, they want to appease to as many fans as possible. Well, as an individual VTuber, I can, I have my own community. I can do what I want. I can say what I want. I can have my opinions out there, and that really only just affects me. There's a Japanese VTuber. They are a VTuber using a worm as an avatar. So it is a worm that's in a straight line, but every time he talks, it's his vocal frequencies going up and down, and he still markets himself as a VTuber, and I thought that was genius. And I think at the end of the day, like, definitely being cute anime girl helps with the appeal, but because there's so many VTubers debuting, I think we're gonna start seeing more originality with even just the avatars themselves.
Anime characters are only the surface of a vast sea of virtual possibilities. Virtual rigging has the potential to bring every type of character, creature, and creation you can think of to life. Internet culture has already begun to incorporate virtual avatars into the mainstream, and it's no stretch to say that internet culture itself is taking over the world.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand.
I first stumbled upon this topic after a conversation with my friend Bobber, who told me about these 3D anime girls that stream and get tens of thousands of viewers. The concept alone immediately intrigued me, but I never would have imagined myself sitting down and actually enjoying a VTuber stream. But that's exactly what happened. I think I now understand what makes these VTubers so appealing to so many people. There's a unique purity to VTubers. When I watch them, I'm not thinking about drama, politics, or personal problems. And while escapism has been widely available in the form of games, shows, and even streams, watching an entertaining VTuber brings the character to life in a way that no other form of media, or live streaming for that matter, has been able to emulate. While VTubers undoubtedly act eccentric, dramatic, and even insane, it's all done under the guise of a character. Rationally speaking, we're all aware that real people are behind these 3D avatars. However, on a subconscious level, there seems to be a disconnect between realizing that the person you're watching is a human and just experiencing it as a character.
りがとう。
It is within that illusion that the appeal of VTubers is found. People are complicated. VTubers are not. And they are here to stay. And behind every 3D avatar, it feels as though there is some sort of dark, unforeseen force. As I stare blankly into my webcam while recording this as my own virtual avatar, I can't help but feel that VTubers are the first step in the process of becoming less human. And if we are stepping into some sort of dystopian new virtual world manufactured by an advanced artificial intelligence, what better way to introduce itself than with the smile of a cute, innocent anime girl?